Hi everyone. In today's video, we shall speak about a very important chapter which is called as Haccp or HACCP. What is the full form of Haccp? Full form is Hazard Analysis Critical Control Point. So what is it exactly? So while working in the kitchen, we follow or we take a lot of precautions to keep our food safe from getting contaminated. Now, how will this food get contaminated? There are three important factors. One might be physical contamination. Example of physical contamination can be uh, hair or flies or cockroach, or might be dust particles, or might be a stapler pin. Okay, a stapler pin can be also a physical contamination. So anything which can be seen through naked eyes, okay, is called as physical contamination. Any physical object is called as physical contamination. Second one is chemical contamination. Now you might ask, how can chemicals enter the kitchen? Chemicals do enter the kitchen. We do pesticides of the kitchen. We clean the vessels with detergents. uh, we use lot of usable chemicals in the kitchen, but which are dangerous if they enter the food. Okay, so these have to be kept away from the food. They need to be there need to be a separate area where they need to be stored. Okay, so that is something which is called as chemical contamination. Obviously, if it goes into the food, it might cause uh, toxicity in our body. Okay, so very necessary to keep all these chemicals away from food area. The third contamination is biological contamination. Now, what comes under biological contamination? It is the bacteria which are dangerous, okay, which if enters our food can cause food poisoning also. Now there are some bacteria which are helpful, but here we are talking about the harmful bacteria. For example, there are harmful bacteria in case we sneeze in front of food. There are bacteria in our mucus. There is a harmful bacteria in chicken, okay, raw chicken especially, which is called as salmonella. There is a harmful bacteria in the intestines of animals, especially poultry and meats, which is called as clostridium perfringens. There is a harmful bacteria which is called as clostridium botulinum. So all these bacteria which I spoke about are very dangerous, and they need to be kept away from food as far as possible. So now I'm going to give you 10 important points which you need to take care of while working in the kitchen. My first point is always wash your hands while entering the kitchen, because you come from outside. So always wash it with soap and then handle your food. Okay, because there are a lot of harmful bacteria which are there on our hands, and the first carrier of bacteria is your hands. Okay, bacteria do not have their own feet to move from one location to other. So the best medium to carry the bacteria is of course your hands. So wash your hands very clean before handling any food. Second point is cover your face while sneezing. Obviously, sneezing is something which we cannot control while you're working with the food, but as far as possible, try to sneeze away from the food, or cough, or you might be having cough, so cough away, go away from your food and then do it. And once you complete the action, wash your hands thoroughly and again then handle your food. Third point is use different chopping boards for different purposes. For example, if you are cutting poultry or meat, then do not use the same chopping board for other ingredients like vegetables or might be dairy products, because there is a lot of cross contamination if you use the same chopping board. Especially these meats and dairy products contain a lot of dangerous and harmful bacteria. So always, even if you are using the same chopping board, generally at home also we have only one chopping board. But what is the best thing you can do is always wash the chopping board after doing one cutting or chopping. Might be you're cutting vegetables at first, so always wash the chopping board and then dry it and use it to cut the other ingredients. And it is especially necessary if you're handling with meat or poultry products, so or any raw product or any raw meat products. Even the fish also is very very dangerous, so be careful with uh, especially the cross contamination of the chopping boards. My fourth point was always keep the food away from the danger zone. Now, what is a danger zone? It is the temperature in which the bacteria multiplies much faster. Now, the danger zone is between 5 degrees Celsius to 63 degrees Celsius. Now, if the food is between these temperature, it is at much risk rather than above 63 degrees Celsius or below 5 degrees Celsius. Now, what happens below 63 degrees Celsius is when you're cooking food above 63, most of the bacteria die away. Okay, your food would be safe. So it is always said that whenever you're cooking any of your food, it should always be heated above 63 degrees Celsius. And next is what happens below 5 degrees Celsius. Below 5 degrees Celsius, the bacteria don't die. Okay, now below 5 can be where? It can be only in our refrigerator or our freezer. So below 5 degrees, what happens is bacteria don't die, but they actually become dormant. Dormant means they become inactive. Okay, they so whenever you are going to store the food, okay, especially the cooked food or the raw meat or dairy products, it has to be always below 5 degrees Celsius. So that's why the temperature of the refrigerator is always below 5 or 4 degrees Celsius. My fifth point is do not use any of your cooked products which are stored in the refrigerator beyond 48 hours, because after 48 hours bacteria the amount of bacteria in the food will increase, which will be dangerous for your body. So beyond 48 hours, discard anything which is left over in the refrigerator. Coming to the sixth point, which I discussed earlier, always keep chemicals away from your food. Okay, especially where you're preparing the food. Okay, always keep dangerous chemicals if you're handling in the kitchen. Always keep it away from the food. Seventh and very important point, if you're handling a commercial cloud kitchen or a restaurant, is always make it a habit to fumigate your restaurant or kitchen with pesticides. Okay, which will keep away all the rodents, cockroaches, flies away from your kitchen. Now this is very very important. They are likely to come to your kitchen very often if you do not keep your kitchen clean. So fumigation is very very essential if you want to keep your food hygienic and safe. My eighth point is uh, always wear clean clothes while handling food. Your chef coats or your whatever clothes you might be using to prepare your food in the kitchen, always keep them clean, keep them washed. Do not use the same clothes 2 or 3 days. Okay, which definitely you will spread over contamination with your soiled clothes. So use clean clothes as far as possible. My ninth point is always follow FIFO in the kitchen. FIFO is FIFO. It means first in, first out. What comes in your kitchen first goes out first. It means what comes in your storage rooms, whatever has to be stored, it might be vegetables, it might be meat products. So the first product which you receive, okay, don't stack it behind. Always try to remove it out and use it first, so that your customers get the freshest product. And you do not have to lose on the expiry date. And the 10th point is wash your kitchen thoroughly after closing down at the end of the day, because that is a time when most of the cockroaches and rodents will try to come out and multiply in your kitchen. So once you are finished off with your daily routine work, at the end of the day, always use clean water and some detergents and soap to clean all your tables, your floors, your ceilings, your walls, your gas ranges, your tables, okay, any oil particles which have spilled off on your walls, okay, any type of grease which has spilled off, any type of food particles might be beneath your table which you're working in. So these needs to be taken care of. Especially we tend to avoid food, if to remove food out if it goes beneath the table, okay, so that's very very dangerous. So always remove the tables out from their particular place, okay, and try to wash the entire kitchen neat and clean, so that your customers also are happy and you maintain that hygiene in your kitchen. So these were all the 10 points about Haccp, and these were very important points which I have tried to cover in this video. I hope you're clear with all the 10 points. See you in the next video. Till then, bye bye.